Okay, cool. So it's now recorded, and so I'm just gonna go over what. So before we started this, I guess I gave you some um, articles to read on
Yeah.
it. Um, we're just gonna basically go over those articles. So basically, going over the foundations of business thought, introduction to business, and motivations for the commercial enterprise, and how they apply to the business world, basically. Hopefully, it doesn't take too much of your time. I'm only wanting to give you like 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to just like talk to each other about it. Um, so the first one that I gave you was um, the Wealth of Nations by Adam Smith. Um, that's the first article that was given, and the second article was the social responsibility. Milton Friedman's social responsibility of business is to increase its profits. So I guess what were some of your thoughts that you had on the Wealth of Nations?
Um, Now that you say that, I read something called The Invisible Hand. It's
Oh,
Adam
that's right.
Smith and The Invisible Hand. Is that the right one?
That's right. That's the right one I gave you. Yeah. My apologies.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The Adam Smiths and the Invisible Hand. Yes.
Okay. Making sure I read the right one because now
Yeah.
I'm nervous
Yeah. So
there.
what were I guess what were your thoughts on that one? And I guess what are some things that we can do to I guess apply it to a I guess since you're in the medical field, apply it in the medical field or even apply it in like a business aspect.
Sorry, I'm just rereading. I'm just making sure I talk about the right
Yeah,
one.
yeah, no.
Um,
If you need a little bit of time to go over it, then you totally can, and then we can talk about it.
Invisible Hand was like it's kind of like a hand that guides everything, is the idea, right?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
was my kind of understanding. That is like sorry, I read these at like 2 in the morning. So
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
um
I totally get that.
so it's like the idea that there's a force that is guiding everything, right? Is kind of how I understood it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if
Like,
I understood that correctly, but
yeah, right.
um and I think it's like interesting because I kind of read this like in the terms of like a business because I was thinking like I guess you're in finance, but for me it's the same thing. Um I don't know, just kind of I don't know. That one's kind of hard because it's like interesting to think of like everything is like guided and meant to be how it is.
yeah,
Um, and sometimes like it explains like for me, I was reading it like oh, I'm trying to think my thoughts here. Uh,
no, dude, you're fine. You're fine. This is why we're talking about it.
that's fair. I don't
So,
know. To
like,
me, oh,
go ahead, go
what?
ahead, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying like it kind of takes away like the randomness of everything. Like if there's an invisible hand guiding everything that's done, then there wouldn't be anything random, which
Yeah,
to me, I feel like I see there's a lot of random stuff all like or like unexplained. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah. No, I definitely can. I definitely agree with you. Like, there's a lot of random things that go along in like a business or even a medical field aspect, just any business in general. Some things will be random, but
Uh-huh.
the idea of the physical invisible hand is so that we can lead to it's to have it lead us, I guess, in a um quote unquote invisible direction, in a direction that we see fit. Um
Okay.
so
And
Oh, go
it's
ahead.
kind of like the in the Wealth of Nations. I see now where it says that.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like saying it argues that restrictions are bad because the invisible hand like guides it, like guides industry. Is that the idea, or the invisible hand puts restrictions down?
yeah. No, the invisible hand. What I've interpreted it interpreted it as is it's guiding, but it doesn't like it's not doing having those restrictions, you know.
I see.
Like
Okay.
even though we have even though we have the restrictions in a business, I mean, that's where ethics would come in at that point. But like even though we have those restrictions, there the invisible hand is guiding us and saying, hey, like these restrictions are in place so that we can be guided in the right direction for that. So
Okay.
um, does that kind of make sense?
That does. Yeah.
That's how I kind of interpreted it as when I was reading it as well.
Yeah. 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 That's kind of how I see it.
Awesome. So let's go over the Milton Freeman's. Do you have that one pulled up as well?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Let me also pull that up.
Just make sure I have them.
Okay, so I guess what's some things that that stuck out to you during this, and how can we apply it in any business?
Um, sorry, I'm just like sizing it up. I kind of like saw it as like I couldn't tell which point he was arguing, but I couldn't like arguing like businesses don't owe. Okay, like because from the beginning it's like businesses should not be concerned about profit only, and like
Yeah,
they should operate off the like good of the people. But then later on he argues like, but who is the good of the people? Because like the business person has like a family to take care of and like
yeah,
needs profits like that. So I thought that was interesting. Cause like for me, where I work, it's always like good for the people who cares about money.
yeah.
But then like it does make a good point of like the person who owns like also needs to like be able to take care of themselves and take care of others
Right,
is I think from this one
right.
kind of
And
together.
I think going along with that, you know, every business has a responsibility that they need in order to succeed.
Mm.
And in order to increase, I guess, its profits, you know, we go day to day and we go to a job so that we can gain profits, so that we can have a better well-being, better life. You know, businesses are have a responsibility to keep that intact so that they can have their employees themselves, like any like CEOs, stay intact and stay within that line of having that responsibility, I guess.
Yeah.
That's also what I kind of interpreted it as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was a good point of view. I don't know, because I don't know. I always think it's black and white, and it clearly isn't from
yeah,
like
yeah.
how
So
he did a really good job of like laying it out and being like it's not like that easy. But
yeah, yeah. It's really honestly not that easy, especially like building a business too. Like there's so many things that you have flaws to that you have to like correct.
mhm.
Um, and there's a lot of things that can happen in a business that might take you like a step back, but then you're always taking like two steps forward, you know. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah.
It's a
Awesome.
good
Did you,
read.
I
I
guess,
like
did you have any other questions like about those two?
it. I was trying to think. I don't think so.
Cool.
Yeah, no, no.
Cool. Awesome. Let me go ahead and pull up the next one. So the next one we're going to talk about is um, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost.
Yeah.
That's the poem that I sent to you as well. I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 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 he did.
Let me pull that up. Okay, yeah. Tell me what your thoughts were on this one. I mean, it's pretty straightforward,
It
honestly.
is, but like I also didn't know it was like this whole I thought this whole poem was where it was just the two roads diverge in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And I thought that was the whole poem. Like I didn't know it
Oh.
was that long. So
Yeah. So did you read it all then?
I did, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I
cool.
just like had no idea that it was more than that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Like it's the same. Honestly, like when I pulled this up, I was just like, wait, I've heard this so many times in my life before. Like this, there's got to be like more to it. And pull it up, and like there's so much more to it.
I know. Um, but from my understanding, he's kind of like looked at both paths before deciding to take one, right? He like looked down one as far as he could to where like he couldn't see it anymore.
Yeah.
And then he kind of did the same for the other one just to like compare them before making a decision. Is
Yeah.
kind of
Right. Right. I guess we kind of learned this too, growing up, but like it in the business in like any business aspect, we always want to take the road that is the easiest, right?
Mhm.
But it's going back to like we have flaws in the business. We want those businesses, I guess, or a business that we've created to go on the trodden path. That's like, and metaphorically speaking, like what's the word I'm looking for? Like the grassy and the wanted, like it's worn out, right?
Yeah.
Because so many people have traveled that road and have taken that route. So we just need to find like a fine line in a business. Like, okay, like if I take this route, where is it going to get me? If I take this route, where is it going to get me?
Yeah.
Come to those conclusions for yourself, and then make sure that you're doing the right thing to go along that path.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
I
I
think it's
guess my question would be, which path would you choose and why?
that's a good question. I would definitely probably go with the one that everybody's done, you know. Knowing like I would like to think I wouldn't, but I know for a fact I would just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
um but like and the it is cool to like if you think about it as a business, like you should evaluate your two options. Like even though if everybody's done all like gone the same route, you can still evaluate like which one you want to do before and then like picking a different route if you decide after you. Does that make sense?
yeah. No,
You know
that
what I'm
makes
saying?
sense. That makes total
But
sense. No, I
yeah.
totally understand what you're saying. And honestly, like when I read this, and I don't want to think about it, but I would honestly take the road that everybody else has taken because it's like the easiest route. But like
Right.
in a sense, there's something in me that's been like, okay, I really need to like get out of my comfort zone and like take this challenge, take this
Uh-huh.
challenge to create something, I guess. So
That's cool. I wish I could do that. I
no, yeah, no. Like if if we get out of, because I like to think it as like the road that people have already taken, um, like that's our comfort zone. But when we
uh-huh.
take the road that isn't traveled, then that's taking us out of our comfort zone. So like if you have that mindset, like, hey, like let me get out of my comfort zone because I know that if I do that, then something great is going to happen. If you always have that mindset, then
Uh-huh.
you're always going to be successful, I guess. So
Nice. I like looking at it that way. That's a cool way to
cool.
look at it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I guess, did you have any other thoughts, questions on this one?
No, just that it really blew my mind. It was more than just like a two-sentence poem.
No, yeah, yeah, serious. Honestly, didn't expect
So
it to be
yeah,
more than two sentences at all.
right.
So
That's
cool.
wild.
Let's go over the Chief Joseph speech for the commercial enterprise.
Yeah.
Pull that one up for me. Okay. So this one, I guess, talks about I'm trying to remember what it even talks about.
It's kind of it's a chief, an Indian chief, like talking to. I think he's addressing.
Right. He's addressing Congress on
Yeah.
his land, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, so from I guess reading all of this or briefly going over it, what did you get out of it, and how can this apply um, to our lives or into like a business, I guess?
Um, I was trying to find. There's a. He said something. I was trying to find it. It was kind of like a. like words don't do anything unless you put action to those words. It kind of like he has a quote. It's like good words do not last long unless they amount to something, and then like words do not pay for my dead. I don't know. I just thought like he really hammered home like words can sound good and they can like have good intentions, but as long if you don't do anything with what you say you're gonna do, then there's no like kind of no purpose in saying them, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and so that applies to life and business, being like you can't promise something and then not do it. Like
yeah, yeah.
if yeah,
Actions speak louder than words is
exactly.
in
It's
in,
kind of
in a sense.
yeah, that's a good summary of his like of what his whole thing is. It's like
Yeah,
I'm tired of like promises, like
yeah.
do
And
something.
sometimes you get those businesses that are just like give you like this long list of like what they're gonna achieve, right? And
Uh-huh.
they don't achieve it, and it's just like your words mean nothing if you don't
Right.
achieve it, you know?
I know SpaceX said they'd be to Mars by like next year.
Yeah,
It's all looking
right. They said
good.
they would be in Mars by next year. Where are we now? We're still trying to shoot down some aliens apparently that are in the sky, you
All
know?
right.
So I don't know. From what I got from this is actions speak louder than words. Good words, I guess. You can't promise something, as you said, and not give it to somebody else, right? And that goes
Uh-huh.
not even just in a business aspect, but like in our personal lives too. Like you can't just say to somebody, "Oh, like I'm trying, I'm giving you this, I'm promising this," and then you're not, you don't give it to them, and you're just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Like you don't learn from that, right? You don't
Yeah.
learn from that. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, yeah. I also like I think he also like feels like he's not allowed to do like he's like it's a highlighted which is super easy but it's like
Yeah,
left to
yeah,
be
I
a
saw
free
that.
man,
Yeah,
free to travel, free to stop, free to work. And I guess that would apply to business, like kind of like let me like try things
yeah, yeah.
and
Let me
be
try
allowed to like
things
without being
without
discouraged from
being
something.
penalized or whatnot.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Cool, awesome. Yeah, that that I think that's like I briefly read over this because I was also just like super tired, but like
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of things that we can get from this. So
Yeah,
um
and he also has like something about like treating everybody like treating like other people the same as you would treat somebody you like care for, kind of,
yeah, yeah, right.
which I think
Right.
is
You
cool.
want to treat others the way that you would want to be treated in a sense.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be treated good and great, then you want to treat those around you in your life or in the business environment, wherever you work. You want to treat them with respect.
Yeah.
Um, I guess I had a cool thing that kind of happened to me yesterday. I had an employee review and they asked me why I ch- I wanted to be in that business or why I wanted to work for them. And
Uh-huh.
really, it comes down to like the environment, like the people that are surrounding me, the customers that come in. Like if those people weren't there, then I probably wouldn't have been there for as long as I have now, and as long as I will be in the future, I guess. So uh,
Right.
it really comes down to those that are surrounding us. That make a good business and those that are like kind-hearted and work hard, that's what I
Uh-huh.
guess makes a really good business. So
Yeah. And I feel like it like attract like if your workers are happy, it like reflects well. Like
yeah, yeah,
customers will also enjoy like if your workers are getting along, then like I don't know, I feel like it has like effect where like the customers also like they can feel like everybody being happy
yeah,
or enjoying their time there, you know.
yeah, no, exactly, exactly. I guess, did you have any other thoughts on this one?
Um, I don't think so. No.
Cool, cool,
Uh,
awesome. Yeah, we went over, I guess, a lot of things. So um I guess what was your overall when I gave you this, like what was your overall thoughts, experience from reading these?
I mean, at the first time, I like just looked at what you'd sent me. I was like, I don't know what these have to do with each other. Like, it's a poem. Yeah,
Yeah.
Robert Frost. It's a Indian chief addressing Congress and
Yeah. Yeah.
an article about business. Um, oops, I'm clicking too many buttons. Um, but I don't know. It's kind of like interesting because I feel like once you read them all and talk about it, like ties together like I mean, kind of from like what Friedman was kind of saying in his article. I feel like it kind of like
Yeah.
all ties together like this. Let people make their own choices, I guess is a big one for me. And
Yeah.
then like just like treating like don't promise something without like following through with it, I guess.
Yeah.
My two
Exactly.
big takeaways.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. Well, I guess that's really all that I have to give you today. I encourage you to keep on. I guess even though you're not going into like a business school or anything, keep being an example to those that are around you, and encourage yourself to put to get out of your comfort zone, to be a light to those around you, I guess. And when you're surrounded by others and you're working your ass off, sorry, working your hardest, um, you're
Say
gonna
that.
see great things that will come to the field that you're in. So yeah, I encourage that from you.
Yeah, it'll be it was a good learning thing. Definitely reading all those.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I guess that's really that all that I have. Thanks so much for
Sick.
joining me again. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Hope you learned a lot, and hope that I was able to give good insights to you, and we had a good discussion about this.
Oh yeah, for sure. For
Cool.
sure.
Awesome.